What's going on, everybody? Almost Counts Collectibles here. I'm finally able to start making some videos for this channel. I think I've only made like one the entire time it's been up. I've mainly been helping out my son with his channel that he's got going on and my gaming channel, but this is the one I'm most excited about. And in today's video, I have finally completed my holographic rare graded Shadowless Pokemon card collection, all graded. So I'm going to show you guys that today. We're going to talk a little bit about what's the difference between a Shadowless card and a regular card. I'm going to show you my collection. I want to hear about your collection. And I'm going to touch on something that I've seen happen a couple times already on YouTube, just so everybody's aware of it. But first, let's get right into it. So first up, I have number 1 in the set, graded an 8 out of 10 from PSA. All of these cards, with the exception of 2, I think, are graded 8s or higher. The other ones, I'll explain the reasons for why I got ones that were graded a little lower. But first up is Alakazam. It is a Shadowless card. I'm going to wait till the next card to show you the difference between the two because it's a little easier to see. But this is a Shadowless card, and this is my Alakazam graded 8 out of 10 from PSA. Alright, moving on to the next one. This is the only card I have that's not graded by PSA. This is actually graded by Beckett, and this is my Shadowless Blastoise. It is graded an 8.5 out of 10, and I got this card at an amazing price, which is why I opted for the 8.5. But with this card, I'm going to show you the difference between a Shadowless card and a regular card. And I'm going to try to compare the best I can. So on my left here, my graded card is a Shadowless card. On my right is one of my regular base set Blastoises. Now, the difference between a Shadowless card and a non-Shadowless card that's easiest for me to see right away is the fact that the bordering, the edge of the picture itself on my non-Shadowless card casts a shadow on the card. The picture almost appears as if it's raised up off the card and it's casting a shadow over in this direction. It's much darker right here, right beside it. Whereas a Shadowless card, as you can see on the right of the picture here, there is no shadow. It is completely light, and it looks like the picture is depressed into the card, as opposed to raised up off of it, casting a shadow off to the side. So as you can see, the real dark shadow right here beside it, and here you have none. That's the main way I can tell on actual cards that have a Pokemon on it. Trainer cards, there's pretty much only one way to tell. We'll cover that in a second. Another way you can tell is the HP up here in the top, these red numbers, are a little bit skinnier on the Shadowless cards as compared to the non-Shadowless cards. They're just a little bit bolder. Now, it might be a little bit hard to tell, but they are much bolder than they are over here on the left. So that's another way that you can tell. If that still doesn't work, the easiest way to tell a card without a shadow of a doubt, pun intended, alright, is down here at the bottom. As you will see right here at the bottom of my Shadowless card, there are years. 1995, 96, 98, and 99. Now 1999 is also written all the way out over here to the right. It's like that on both cards. But only Shadowless cards have the 99 after the 98 over here in the left column. And I will show you proof of that. Right here on my shadowed Blastoise, it says 1995, 96, and 98. And then it says 99 out here written out to the side. But it does not have a 99 after the 98 over here on the left side. Only Shadowless cards do. And that's pretty much the only way to tell on an energy card or on a trainer card, as if it says 99, because you can't tell from the picture. There is no HP. So that's the easiest way to tell, is just look for that 99 after the 98, and that will guarantee that you're good to go. So that's the main way to tell. And on my Blastoise here from Beckett, it got a 9 and also a 9 on the surface and edges, and it got 8.5s for corners and centering. Now I could send this into PSA and possibly walk away with a 9, but I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to leave it graded by Beckett for now anyways, just because I don't plan on reselling these or anything anytime soon. It was mainly just for collection purposes. So that's my Blastoise. Next up, we have number 3 in the set, and it is Chansey. Now, as you will see, this is only a 7 out of 10. It is one of the exceptions to my all 8s or highers. And the reason that this is a 7 instead of an 8 is because I actually won this card on a bid on eBay for 19 bucks. And it costs more than, half of that to just get the card graded. So I just went ahead and took that and completed my collection with it as opposed to hunting down an 8, just because I got a great price on it. But the main reason overall why I was kind of looking for around the 8s instead of trying to go for gem mint 10s and 9s, mainly is because 9s and 10s are super expensive. I mean, crazy expensive. You try to get a 10 out of 10 Charizard, even a non-first edition, you're looking at thousands of dollars. And I simply wasn't going to pay that. So 8s, even 7s, still look amazing, and they're not that expensive. You can still get your hands on them graded ones for a very good price. I started to collect non-graded Shadowless cards as far as the Holos go. However, after buying about 8 of them, and I paid anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks a piece, I wasn't paying crazy prices. They're just always in really poor shape, and a lot of times you don't really notice it until you get it, but there's always minor scratches everywhere. The edges are always very highly silvered, and I just wanted really good looking quality cards. So I just opted to go ahead and buy graded cards that were guaranteed to be in good condition, because I can buy a graded card at around an 8 for most of the Pokemon, at the same price that people want for non-graded cards, and there's no guarantee that it's going to grade an 8 or higher, so I just go ahead and go for these, that's why. But that's my Chansey, number 3. Now, number 4 is not up here on my stack. I just received number 4 today in the mail, and we are going to open it together. I went ahead and tore the end open, nice and careful, just so I wouldn't damage the card. But I finally got my Charizard Shadowless Graded card that I was missing to complete my set today, and I am super pumped. We are going to look at this for the first time together. I have not looked at it other than the one picture that was on eBay, but I was hoping that the grade that it got would make sure that it was in great shape, and here it is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. One of the best cards ever made. This is a Shadowless 7 out of 10 holographic Charizard. And this card looks amazing. I'm guessing centering is what it was dinged on a little bit because the picture is a little high up in the cut. But, oh man. This thing looks great. And I got this at an amazing price. I just couldn't pass up. I was so pumped to get it. And no Pokemon card collection, a legitimate collection, is complete without at least one Shadowless Charizard in it. I've heard people say that for the longest time, and I have to agree, especially now that I got one. But, man, that card just looks awesome. And there it is. I finally, with this card, completed my Shadowless Rare Holo collection. There are still a couple of common and uncommon Shadowless cards I'm missing to complete the actual whole set, but I don't really care about those right now. All I cared about was getting all the holographics, and I finally got them. So there is Charizard. Alright, number 5. Next in the set, my 8 out of 10 PSA graded holographic Clefairy. There's Clefairy. Great looking card. And there it is. Alright, moving on. Next up, the one and only Gyarados. 8 out of 10 PSA graded. Awesome looking card. One of my favorite original artworks, other than Charizard, was this Gyarados card. Very, very cool holographic. Alright, next up, we have number 7 in the set, and that's our holographic Shadowless Hitmonchan, graded an 8 out of 10. And Hitmonchan looks awesome. As you will see, if you guys have graded cards, you can buy what they call the skin fit, or at least that's what some people I've heard call them, skin fit sleeves, where you don't have all this extra stuff on the side. It fits around it like perfectly tight. Actually, I think Clefairy had one. Hold on, I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to get that for all of these. But that's Hitmonchan. We're going to go back to Clefairy real quick because Clefairy has one. You see the difference? You see, you can't even really tell that there is an additional sleeve over this because it fits so tight to the card. There is no play in it, as opposed to these that are kind of universal, where the card has a lot of play. But these look awesome. They display great, and they'll go in my graded box a lot better. So I highly suggest getting those. You can get them for like $6 for like a pack of 100, I think. Next up, the only first edition in my Shadowless Graded collection is Machamp, because they made so many of these. He's not that expensive to get. 8 out of 10. But even though there's more of these, it's still a Shadowless card. So a 10 out of 10 of one of these I've seen listed for anywhere from $500 to $1,000. Now, is it worth that? Probably not. But it was the only one on there, and people are asking crazy prices for it. So I ended up getting this one for like $40. Alright, moving on. We have number 9 in the set, and that is Magneton. PSA 8 out of 10. Another amazing looking card. These 8s, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between an 8 and a 10 unless you really know what you're looking for, and you can tell that the centering might be a little off, or, you know, this, that, and the other. But these cards still look amazing. And there is Magneton. Next up, one of my personal favorites, Mewtwo. PSA 8 out of 10, Shadowless. Very, very cool card. And that is Mewtwo. Alright, next up we have number 11. And that is a Nidoking, PSA 8 out of 10. Very, very nice. Alright, number 12, we've got Ninetales. PSA 8 out of 10. This is number 12 in the set again. And it is Ninetales. Another amazing looking card. Alright, next up we have Poliwrath. PSA 8 out of 10. Great looking card. And a lot of these, like when I'm shining it like this, it appears that there's some scratches up and down, but it's not on the card. It's a lot of these scratches are just on these sleeves where they're a little scuffed up and scratched up. So they're even in better condition than they probably look. But another great looking card. Alright, so next we have Raichu here. And this is a PSA 8 out of 10. And believe it or not, this was the third most expensive card in the set that I have. For some reason, Raichu is up there in value. I could not find this card any cheaper than $55 to $60. I think with shipping, I ended up paying like $60 for it, which by all means isn't bad at all, especially for an 8 out of 10 Shadowless. But it seemed to me, no matter where I looked and how many I found, Raichu was about the third most expensive Shadowless Graded card you can get. Alright, next up is Venusaur. This is one other of the few exceptions to my list. This is only a PSA 7 out of 10. The card still looks amazing. The reason that I opted for a 7 out of 10 on this one right here, is because I won this on a bid, and my competition stopped bidding at $60. So I won this card for like $60. And for a Shadowless Graded Venusaur at 7 or higher for $60, that's a really good price. So I lucked out on that one. So I just went ahead and accepted my 7, and this is the one I'm going to keep. Because I'm not paying hundreds of dollars for one score higher when I already have one for $60. So this is my Venusaur. Alright, last but not least, we have a PSA 8 out of 10 Shadowless Zapdos. A great looking card. One of my all-time favorite Pokemon. It actually made my top 5 list, I think, in the video that me and my son did. Is the legendary bird Zapdos. And there it is. Alright, just for display purposes, because I am still super pumped about this card, I'm going to set old Charizard up here for you to take a, just to, you know, take in and absorb and enjoy, while I tell you about something else that I've seen happen a lot recently, and I want you guys to be aware of. So I have seen a couple times on YouTube people spending crazy amounts of money, I'm talking hundreds of dollars, on these original blister packs that have a chance of containing Shadowless cards. And I say a chance because I want you guys to understand, and I've talked to a couple of people at card stores and other people that know a lot about this, because I'm not an expert, but you are not guaranteed a Shadowless card from the original packs that contain Shadowless cards. Towards the end of the run, they still used the same packs when they were making, when they were done making the Shadowless cards, and they were putting the shadowed cards inside. The main difference to tell if it's a possibility of getting a Shadowless card is the original packs at the bottom, underneath the picture of whether you had Charizard, Blastoise, or Venusaur. It said 11 trading cards. Okay, 11 trading cards. After they were done with those packs, all of the base set packs said 11 additional cards. So if it doesn't say additional, you have a chance of getting Shadowless cards in the pack, but there is no guarantee. I watched a guy opened it from the you know, the box that he bought it in. He did a live opening on YouTube. He spent $125, $130 on an original pack that said 11 trading cards. It had Venusaur on it, and he opened it just to see what, you know, he would get. And he was devastated when he saw that these cards were not Shadowless cards. They were just regular base set cards. And all the cards in the pack ended up worth, you know, they were probably worth maybe $10. He got a non-holo trainer card and a bunch of common and uncommon base set cards. And he was saying that he got scammed, and be careful, don't buy anything from eBay, you're going to get scammed, and this, that, and the other. And while I feel for him, I really do, because that's highly disappointing, and I'm sure he was crushed, especially after spending $120 some on the pack to end up with $10 worth of cards, if that, if you're lucky. You know, I feel for him, but he wasn't scammed. There is no guarantee that there will be Shadowless cards in there, because towards the end, they started putting base set cards in the same packs before they changed the pack. So just be aware of that. Had he had that pack graded, because the pack was in extremely, it would have been probably Gem Mint 10 for a pack. The pack looked awesome. If he would have had that pack graded, it would have been worth hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. But he opened it, didn't have Shadowless cards inside of it, and he ended up with about $5 to $10 worth of cards. So I just want everybody to understand that. Just because you buy a sealed pack that was the original run of packs doesn't mean that you're going to get Shadowless cards in it. There's a chance that you won't. And you probably shouldn't open the pack, period, if it's in good shape, because the odds are against you getting a holographic rare card. I don't know if everybody understands that, but you don't have good odds of actually pulling a holographic rare. So you'd be better off just to get the pack graded if you're collecting, as opposed to opening it, because the odds are not in your favor. And that's it. I'm just going to say my piece with that. So I'm going to end here. Please let me know, guys. I want to hear your opinions. What do you think of this collection? What's your opinion on the Shadowless cards? I think personally they're some of the best looking cards that's ever been made. Yeah, they're vintage, but they just look awesome. I mean, they did a great job on the first Pokemon cards they made. They just have this, the artwork, you know, they just have this personality about them. And, I mean, you know, let me know if you've got a Shadowless Charizard card. If you want to, let me know what you paid for it. I'll tell you exactly what I paid for this one. For a 7 out of 10, I paid $295 with free shipping, and it cost the gentleman probably, I think, 12 bucks is what was on the envelope to send it. He 2-day shipped it to me. So $295. He was asking $350 originally. I talked him down, and I got a 7 out of 10 Shadowless Charizard for $295. My Blastoise, my 8.5 Beckett Blastoise, I got for $140 free shipping. And then I'm pretty sure, even though Venusaur, actually Venusaur might have been my third most expensive. I think it might have been 66 after it was all said and done with shipping. And then Raichu came in at a solid fourth place at just a couple dollars shorter than that. All these other cards that I got, I actually got for anywhere from 19 bucks to about $35 each. And that is graded Shadowless cards. I lucked out putting this collection together. And I highly suggest, because the value on these things go up every single year, I highly suggest if you want to put a collection together of Shadowless cards, start now, but don't overpay, because there are good deals out there. And know what the card's worth before you pay the price. And that's all I got. So please let me know what you guys think. Stay tuned. In my next video, since me and my son are highly into the Pokemon cards again, I finally completed the complete collection of first edition Team Rocket cards. They are non-graded, however, they are all in amazing condition. So I'm going to do a video about that next. But that's been my Shadowless collection. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please stay tuned, and I will see you next video.